Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus, the Riven Realms. I went back and I've refought Morgarthan. I think I'm about to win. Cross your fingers. Oh, my life is so hard. He's down. I stunned Gorgoro. Please attack everybody else. Oh, he killed Garrick. Oh, Gorgoro gets to go first. Don't miss. Yes! Ah! I thought you were all about to witness me dying again. Whoo! Okay, one final successful attack and Morgarthan falls to his knees. All across the unholy throne room, his minions flee like cockroaches caught in the torchlight, scuttering back to the abyss from whence they came. The mighty demon lord is alone, its tar-like blood oozing in steaming puddles. Nadir reaches up to Morgarthan's head with her right hand. With her left, she holds the medallion. Then she speaks a word of power. Both the amulet and the demon's horns begin to glow, radiating fiery red light. You can tell that it is a battle of wills, but however powerful Morgarthan was, Nadir now clearly has the upper hand due to your victory. The infernal fortress begins to shake while the sorceress's eyes glow with a green flame. Both her and the demon lord scream. The creature of the abyss erupts into flames and burns like a dry cinder block on a hot wasteland evening. The strands of black smoke emerging from his shriveling body are immediately sucked into the medallion in Nadir's hands. In the end, only the demon lord's horns remain, falling to the ground with a dull thud. The earthquake stops and silence breaks over the throne room. Nadir breathes out and hugs the necklace to her chest. A few moments pass and you begin to hear the angry screams of a myriad of demons all over the fort. They've regrouped while their master fell and now are hungry for revenge. We all begin to run. Please, for the love of God, don't let them catch me. I have one companion left alive. You head for the stairs, ascend, and run towards the portal. Gleaming above, just a horde of flying and scampering abyss creatures begins to converge on the battlements. With a final effort, you leap through the portal just as the hordes of chaos will close in on you. Once you are on the other side, the gate immediately closes behind you. You are back in Incarnus' summoning chamber. At first, the silence is almost deafening after the cacophony you have endured during the last minutes spent in the abyss. Then Incarnus speaks. This looks like it was a close call. Nadir holds up her medallion with a triumphant grin. The mage inspects the trinket. Maybe you haven't noticed, but the amulet has changed, he says after a while. Only then does Nadir take a closer look at it, and so do you. The necklace's medallion now resembles the demon lord Morgarthan's visage, locked in a tormented, disdainful frown. You have successfully captured the demon lord's essence, Incarnus declares. Nadir raises and cocks her head as if listening to something. The curse is lifted, she says calmly after a few moments. Relief washes over all of you. You are safe, back in the Riven Realms, and not only have you vanquished a powerful enemy, but Nadir has also gained an artifact of power. While Incarnus tends to your companions, Nadir pulls you aside. Ho! They're like, for the love of God, heal us. Oh no, we lost loyalty with everybody? Is that because they got knocked down? Or is it just because they didn't like being dragged into hell? The sorceress places the relic around her neck. She hesitates, but then eventually begins to speak. I can feel it. Morgarthan. What's left of him, anyway. The demon lord's essence is in the medallion now, but harnessing its power is a double-edged blade. Still, I am certain that I will be able to control it. I would never have come so far had I stayed with the Crimson Order. I feel exalted. A true mage at last. Then she looks straight into your eyes. The cruelty is still there in her gaze, perhaps even more so than before. You helped me, Vagrus. You came along. Of course, there were things on the road you have benefited from. You have walked the abyss and lived to tell others about it. Not many wayfarers can brag about that, but nonetheless, I thank you for your companionship. I might have seemed difficult at times, and you know what? It was a terrible, difficult time, and so I will not apologize. But from now on, I can assist you without those pesky demons bothering us. I would say that is a win. When the sorceress walks away without telling you where she is going, then she walks away without telling you where she is going. But she will be back, and that is enough. Incarnus escorts you out of the tower and bids you farewell. We return to the Manzio to rest. We gained his Morgarthan's jail. We lost the accursed amulet, gained 6 insight, lost all of our movement for the day, and Nadir gained loyalty. Well. What a wild ride that was. Basically, to give you guys context, I went back, redid everything the exact same way I did it before, but this time I actually paid attention to using aid. And I got the benefit of some pretty lucky crits. Although he was using his like belly bump move way more than he did before, which was stunning Gorgoro over and over, and that was kind of rough. But we managed to make it work. If I had used aid at the end of the last episode, I think it would have worked out pretty much the same way, with basically coming down to having one companion left. Basically, the thing that really sucked was having Nadir be unable to harm him. And maybe that was because like he was her pact lord or something, and there's like some bylaw in the demonic code saying she couldn't harm him. You know how that is in D&D. But great, we actually managed to finish a companion's loyalty quest. If we come here and look at Nadir, we should be able to do this. Like, obviously we don't have enough insight for that, but eventually. Resourcefulness I would love to upgrade, but for some reason, it doesn't seem to want to let me to do that. I wonder how much insight I need to upgrade. Like, if I hold over here, it doesn't really tell me. Well, maybe we'll save up insight and see what happens. For now, I think the plan is to head to Devon and then head down to the crossroads. Maybe we'll try to find this lizard. I think it'll depend on like what situation we're in. We'll probably take a mission from Devon to go to Torzeg Shelter anyway, so we'll probably go all the way to Torzeg's and then back to the crossroads. But for now, let's see what we can pick up to take us to Devon here. Oh, we can't move, so we'll have to rest. So let's exchange for news. You want to go all the way to Torzeg Shelter? Sure. Come along with me. Let's go rest up. Let's use some healing. Well, yeah, let's use some healing. Just one. And how are we doing? Actually, we're like in great shape. So we'll just rest on the floor. Blessing of Unbinding still. That won't last forever, so if we get into a tussle with the, let's sell that extra Beast of Burden I bought a while back. We probably don't need it. Okay, mission to Devon, great. Ash, oh. I don't have enough rep with Venari. I thought I had level 2 rep with you, I guess not. Larnak is the wrong direction. All right, we have one mission to go to Devon. House Darius doesn't like us enough. I wish we did have good rep with House Darius. We should probably work on our rep with Darius and the Carpenters Guild. It's kind of frustrating not to be able to get any of these missions here. But what we can do is we could just buy a bunch of metal ourselves, I believe. Let's just do the quick math here. Avernum, Devon. Actually, I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna do all this off camera so you guys don't have to endure me trying to do math. All right, I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, we just filled up on metal essentially, and then I grabbed an oil for Gorgoro. So let's head out. Head west towards Ash. This way. We even have the movement buff. We'll definitely want to pop into Amphalat just because you can get some cheap supplies there. Let's talk to Gorgoro real quick, give him a gift. Here's some oil. And then we want to give Elani, we have a survival kit, I should say. Cool. Because we picked that up somewhere. I don't remember. I think it was in one of the like tribal settlements, Utvarar or one of them. Let's pop in here. Let's buy all the supplies they have because they're cheap. Just all the mushrooms. And I think you can sell mushrooms in Ash. So let's grab this one stack of mushrooms and head out. Oh, whoops. Oh, they don't even have a Manzio anyway. Oh, do you guys have missions? Defend. It's only a 130. Let's do it because I need the rep with House Venari. What the hell? I take it back. Give up. We lost rep with that. That was a total waste of my time. I'm not turning around to go all the way back up there, though. All right, Venari, you're on my shit list now. I'm like, let's raise our rep with them. Immediately lose rep with them. All right, let's send out our guys to see if they can get some supplies. We got a few supplies, but nobody got hurt. Incoming, large Jacra horde. Can we lure them away? That doesn't seem to work. It's actually a pretty weak crew, though, so let's just fight them. We'll get some supplies for this, probably. Let's makeshift barricade it up. And then cull their ranks. They don't have a lot with them. We'll have to throw in some of our lesser people, since Krifta and... Oh, you guys aren't even that hurt. What the heck? All right, let's cycle out some people here. Go, not Krifta. Let's go Ren and Skornar. How are you doing health-wise? Probably okay. Let's put him here, and then we're gonna put Harvick behind Gorgoro, because those two can kind of swap places and still be effective. All right, go ahead and stun the big boy. He's not stunned. Go for the middleman. Good job. Mantis strike. Down for the count. Good job. Fireball. Well done. Swap back and hit this guy in the front for death. Fantastic. What the hell was that? Ah, what's happening? He stunned me. How dare you? Let's kill this guy. Good job. Burn him. 1 damage is not bad. And a miss. Fantastic. Everybody's stunned though, so. All right, back to killing never mind. Let's drop down this ward. Ren, target the big guy, I guess. And he does have armor, so let's break that. Harvick, jump forward. And then max chop. Good job. I need to try and boost Skornar's armor up so he can just like truly tank stuff. Not just with his health, but like actual armor. Gorgoro, all of your stuff got drained away. Was that from his like war cry scream or something? Slash this dude. And then can you double up the thing on him? Ow, poor Harvick. Let's see if this works. Let's double act Harvick here. Did that do anything? Oh, he's gonna jump forward. Kill him? Oh yeah, double damage, heck yes. Oh, what the heck? All right, now we got him. Whew. I like the double wards on the ground though, for 6 damage each turn. That's kind of fun. Ouch, not the best roll probably. Did we kill all of them? Success. They are retreating. Did they take anything? They took some of my supplies. I don't know if I like that. How many of you are left? Let's shield wall. Does that do anything? Doesn't seem to. Okay, let's pursue. All right, we killed all of them. We've got some wounded, but we should be able to get through this. Quick heal, recover. All right, I think everybody recovered except for 1 fighter. That's okay. We got a load of stuff. Move on. Oh, that's right. Oops. Well, that's fine. This stuff's probably, I mean, it's only a couple things anyway. Maybe I wanted that extra beast of burden. Although if I had that extra beast of burden, I would have just loaded up on other crap anyway. Live and learn. We have to get more healing at some point. So probably when we get all the way back to Torzag's shelter, we'll want to visit the alchemist and gather some healing supplies. Hey, our guys. Oh, actually, I just realized I have the movement as well. There we go. Don't waste your movement. All right, pay our guys. We don't have any more movement, so end day. This pretty easy route all the way over to Devon and then back to Torzag Shelter should put us back to full health, just kind of on its own, I would think. Because the road is very safe. You have 50% chance to hit healing basically every night. Alright, so let's sell the mushrooms. And then you want me to take stuff to Devon? And we can recover some of the stuff we lost just by being an idiot. And we can take this too. Gain rep with the Carpenters Guild as well. Cool. Ah, we're slowed because of Twilight. I was like, why are we so slow all of a sudden? All right, nobody wanting to go where we're planning on going. Let's not grab the supplies. I think we might be able to make it all the way to Devon. Yeah, just on the supplies we have. So let's plan on that. Let's rest in the Manzio tonight. We only have 2 movement, and we'll send out our dudes for odd jobs. Did it work? I don't know. All right, off onto the road. And then we are out of the Twilight, so we got our 1 movement back, which is just grand. Start generating our our vigor back up. We were at 7 for a little bit there. I gotta remember that when you get into fights with things, your vigor generally goes down. I think it might not on a crit success, but maybe even on a crit success it might go down in a fight. So it's good to try and keep your vigor up if you can. All right, into Sunrock. We have 2 space here. We haven't been to here in a while, so exchanging news is actually making quite a bit of money for us. So let's see, back to Avernum. We have a thing for Devon. 2 for Devon. All right, we'll need 2 more. We'll need 2 more inventory slots to think about taking that mission. We could yeet some of our supplies. I think it's worth it. Somebody can run the math on that and tell me, like, that's not a good idea. But we will get rep for doing this, so we're gonna do it this way. All right, and then we'll be able to get right out on the road. And off we go. Do I have any good relationship? I could give them a beast of burden. All right, holy crap. 22 silver, my God. I know I think somebody said if you get to 5 rep with like any of the Imperial factions, excuse me, you can forego the taxes there. So that'll be nice if we eventually get there. I think we're 4 rep with somebody right now. Let me just take a quick peek here. Yeah, oh, the Loaders Guild. I guess House Aqua is probably the one we'd want to get to, or be able to get to soonish, but it's still quite a ways away, even for level 4. I'm assuming if you get to level 5 with the Loaders Guild, they don't have the clout to be able to to forego taxes, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you get that high, it'll be good. High rep in general is not a bad thing. And I've generally been generating it only by, taking trading missions. So I haven't really been pissing off any of the other groups. We will smuggle in our goods. We've done it. Show them the trading license so we don't pay our taxes. Gotta get that new muscle memory down. All right, turn in every single thing we have. And now, sell all of the stuff. Sell all the stuff. Fantastic. Back above 500. We love to see it. Okay, so let's buy... Oops, I bought one supply. Buy all the supplies? Well, hold on. Let's see what missions are available. Lumen, Ash, wrong. Larnak, no. Here we go. Torzags, Venari. We were trying to get better relationships with them. Loader's Guild, fantastic. And kind of looks like that's the only things we can do. So let's see here. Move all y'all down. And then we'll outfit, I'm gonna pause again, outfit the crew, and then we're gonna head to Torzag Shelter. I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, I just filled everything with chitin. That's how that went down. All right, let's head out. And southward we go. Along the road. We're at everything's at 9, so we're good there. Make sure we're using our max guard. Get our extra movement in today. It's interesting that we're actually losing morale each day. I wonder if that's an adjustment. An adjustment from, like, balancing issues, or if, like, we... That's interesting, because normally when you did a normal guarding before, it didn't actually change morale. But there could be more going on there that I'm just ignorant of. Alright, I'm thinking most of our crew is back to full health. I think. If we just do a quick scroll through here. Oh, Garrick's still wounded. You're really wounded, my man. You must have just gotten unlucky with the rolls. Because everybody else is back to full. I don't know what you're doing wrong. It's clearly a failing by Garrick. Oh man, see? The morale is starting to go down because I haven't been auto-selecting. Alright, I will go back to, holy crap. Oh, that's why, it's because we haven't paid anybody in forever. Alright, we're gonna go back to locking in pay now and extra guards, and then we'll just try to remember any time that we add medical supplies or we have people out there searching for supplies to turn that off. Alright, we're going to the crossroads, but we're not gonna jump by the gateway just yet. Let's ask for a blessing, and then ask her about... Oh, we got the rumors. Okay, cool. Nice to see you, Buka. It's been probably like a couple months at this point. Glad to see you're still alive. Is she like a weird, eldritch being? That we haven't, she's not dead yet? They described her as old. But, she doesn't seem to age. Although it's probably only been like a couple years in the grand scheme of the game. All right, we made it all the way to Torzag Shelter. Good job, team. Well done. Approach the guards. Nothing to hide. Use our trade house license. Fantastic. Pop by Gorgoro's friend. The Civic District? No. The Market District. Yes. Hello, Gorgoro gained loyalty. Fantastic. Now, Undercity, the Alchemist. Buy a lot of supplies. Let's do that twice. Cool. Leave. Turn in the missions we have. Don't take any more. Sell all the chitin. And now we need to take some supplies with us to be able to get us to the crossroads. 2 to 3 days away. Let's go for like 5 days. Yeah, 5 days of supplies seems to be good. I'm cool with that. Now, rest in the Manzio. Exchange. Sleep on the ground. No work, boys. We don't have any movement, so we don't want to waste the vigor. Yeah. End turn. Leave the city. And then now back to the crossroads. And this time we're going through the gate. The wind dies down. Okay, whew. It's like how unfortunate would it be if like the wind absolutely destroyed us for no reason. Right when we're about to go through the gate for the first time. All right, Garrick, probably close to full, if not back to full for real now. To the realm gate, open. All right, whoosh, and the music changes. All right, to the village. This has been an eventful episode. We killed the demon lord at the beginning and helped Nadir out. Oh, we should actually equip that item that we got. That's probably good for her, right? Ring of Leeching, energy crystal. So here we go. Morgarthan's jail. Mind resistance super far down, but it gives vitality and power, terrifying frenzy, intimidation, and strong-minded. She's earned it. Oh, I forgot to re-equip Candle of the Dead. All right, so Skornar, Candle of the Dead for you, my man. And then let's give the small energy crystal to... Oh, maybe nobody can use it? What does it require? Magic sense. Looks like Nadir's the only one who can use that. Does anybody else even have the ability to get magic sense? Looks like Ren does. Let's give him magic sense and then assign the small energy crystal. Hey, oh, we're doing good. I think he's fine to keep the trap kit for now. Okay, so let's go to the warehouse. We are going to leave our beasts here. Leave the horses here. We need to have fewer than 41 people, which includes companions, I believe. So we have 9 companions. No, 8 companions plus me, so that's 9. Let's keep the 3 scouts, so that's 12, which means we can have 29 fighters and slaves between the two. So let's leave 10. Oh. What the heck? Oh, I see. Hold on. Ah, what happened here? No, I don't want to leave these behind. Oh, what the heck? Okay, well, lesson learned. I should have stored the supplies first and then took the beasts out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's leave 10 of you. 10 of you? What does that put us at? 22, 25. Oh, wait. Yeah, 22, 25, 33. Okay, so we took way too many out. So 33, we have 8 more that we could pick up. So let's take 4 of you and 4 of you. What does that put us at? Oh, our workforce is super high because we have no beasts. Okay, but I like 16. Well, maybe we'll swap it around here. Like this and like this. So now we're at... Oh, we need to ditch one more person because of me. I forget that I exist as an entity in this world. Okay, 10, 19, 3 seems good. Rest is not necessary. To the gateway. Tarkian awnings unmounted due to requirements not met. It's because we don't have any beasts. Nothing to mount the beasts or the awnings on. All right, we've reached the realm hub. Enter the field and approach the gates. Head over to the mysterious realm gate. We have 250, okay. Fewer than 1 passenger required. You have 0. None beasts of burden, none mounts, and we have 40 crew. Oh, okay, so I guess it is crew, companions, and beasts, not including myself. All right, I am a free passenger. You concentrate your mental powers on the astrolabe and the gate. The humming intensifies in a crack accompanied by a flash of light. The realm gate is torn open by an unseen force. Beyond is a muddled landscape of red-tinged sand dunes and rocky outcroppings. You send your crew ahead, holding the portal open as long as possible. Then breathe in and leap into the gate's lake-like surface. The world begins to spin around you. Woo! Yeah! The world keeps spinning wildly, even after you finally emerge from the shimmering realm gate into blinding light and a muffled cacophony. Slowly, ever so slowly, your senses are returning to you, accompanied by the realization that you are hearing the clamor of battle all around you. Oh no! Looking around while blinking madly, you can see now a red-tinged desert landscape. The sand dunes sometimes give way to rocky outcroppings, and you have stepped out of the realm gate with your crew among such a cluster of stones. The portal itself appeared under a natural-looking rock arch that someone marked with arcane symbols long ago. Yet you have no time to sufficiently assess your plight because the reality of arriving in the midst of a battle between sizable forces making you want to flee back through the realm gate into the safety of Kadath on the outer realms. To your horror, however, the portal quivers, flashes once, and then disappears from under the rock arch in a matter of seconds, and before any of you could retreat back into it. Thus, left without much of a choice, your komes take shelter among the stones on your orders. From there, you watch closely as the black-clad, nimble fighters who vastly outnumber their desert nomad enemies, dressed in drab garments, finally encircle them, and a bloody massacre ensues. It is over very soon, and with the Dark Warriors crying out in victory, singing songs of glory. It does not take long for them to notice your small crew hiding among the rocks. You are now certain that the victorious force belongs to the Hanjari, the Tarkian caste loyal to the Empire. I'm Tarkian! We should get along! They sound their horns, and some of their commanders shout orders for their soldiers to reform lines and surround your position. They are clearly quite taken aback by your sudden appearance out of nowhere, but their focused response betrays cool-headedness and a lot of martial experience. The rest of their army, hundreds of black-clad warriors, finish off the wounded and round up stragglers. Hoping against hope to escape this predicament, you produce the astrolabe and focus your mind on reopening the gateway to Kadath. Your heart sinks when nothing happens. The artifact is dormant and shall remain so for a while if Icarian is to be believed. Sighing, you look up from behind the cover to see the orderly formations of the Hanjari fighters that have encircled your stony hideout. 100 spear tips and arrowheads are trained on you and your komes. The black-clad force does not move, however. Not yet. The hot desert wind caresses your furrowed brow, and for a few moments it feels like time has stopped. Your mind is still racing, looking for a way out, but there seems to be no such thing, and picking a fight against so many, even with your veterans and companions, would be suicide. Then you notice some movement. A beautifully crafted gilded palanquin is brought forward by bulky tattooed slaves and is gently placed on the sands. A tall man in jet black robes and ornate armor steps out of it, adjusts his turban, and hails you. "Let us talk, strangers," he calls out. "There is no need for bloodshed." Thank God. "I am Captain Rajat al-Tariq, the leader of this war party," the tall man alleges. "Whoever is your leader, I suggest we negotiate. I could just order my warriors to slaughter you, but I am absolutely certain that would be not to be your preference, yes?" His words ring out for a few seconds more over the bloody dunes. You have to admit that he is right. One needs no keen senses to see that great peril you have found yourself in. And so you rise from your cover and raise your hand in a well-known gesture of peace. The captain beckons you over, standing slightly apart from the palanquin and his bodyguards. As you walk over to him, you see his features much better. The captain is a Tarkian man in his late 40s. Under his black turban is a stern face with a great mustache and a thin goatee. His clothes and armor are bedecked with jewelry and gems. His dark eyes are attentive but not unpleasant. "I am pleased that Anubis has guided us to a sensible person this day." Captain Rajat bows his head slightly. "You can certainly understand why I'd like to know who you are and how you got," he indicates the desert around you, "here." You introduce yourself, tell him that you are a Vagrus, and assure him that you mean no harm to him or his soldiers. "Pleased to make your acquaintance," he replies genially, "but I'd still like to know how you seemingly appeared out of thin air, Vagrus." Tell him, you gotta tell him the truth. If we lie and he finds us out, we're gonna get thrown in jail. You explained to the captain that you and your comitatus are traversing around the outer realms and found a realm gate to explore using a device only you can operate. It led you here and closed behind you, so now you are stuck and have no clue of the altercation that occurred here, nor what here means exactly. Captain Rajat strokes his mustache thoughtfully for a few moments and then beckons one of his men over, who turns out to be a stocky, perfumed fellow dressed in black and orange silk. Just so you can see that I am an honorable man, let me enlighten you. This is the Bronze Desert, Vagrus. He can see your expression and smiles faintly. Now I beg you to return the favor and allow my mage to confirm your story. There is no threat in his tone, but the bodyguards make a step forward and you suddenly realize this was no request. The plump spellweaver leaves with a detachment of the elite warriors and they snoop around the rock formations for a while. During that time, you and the captain are standing facing each other in silence. Soon the mage returns and whispers briefly into Rajat's ear before the captain dismisses him. Well, I must say I'm pleasantly surprised, Vagrus, the tall commander says. It appears that you have been truthful, a rare commodity these days, I'm afraid. Please join me in the shade of my palanquin, share my water, and hear me out. You wipe the sweat off your brow and follow him inside the curtained carriage. Inside the palanquin is surprisingly spacious. It has room for several hookahs and an army of pillows, all different shapes and sizes, a pile of books and scrolls, hanging maps, incense burners, and a holy moon symbol of Anubis. Once Captain Rajat and you are comfortable, he orders his slaves to pour cold water for you both. How big is this palanquin? My war party has been scouring this territory in hopes of locating and routing the enemies of our imperial friends, your host says after a few good sips. Bandul insurgents who are thorn in our overlord's side. They are so very bad for business. As you have witnessed, my efforts are rewarded by the gods. Now as for you, he strokes his mustache thoughtfully. Well, your sudden appearance compels me to bring you before my lord, Prince Cabor. You begin to protest, but Rajat raises his hand. I pledged myself to your safety, and now I vow to compensate you and your crew for your time, as well as guarantee your safe passage. We shall travel together. I need to report my success in any case, and you will be able to converse with a prince. It isn't a bad hand of cards that you are holding, Vagrus, but make no mistake, you and this realm gate, it's a matter of security, so I strongly suggest you accept my invitation without a fuss. We will accept his invitation. I don't think it's a request once again. The captain nods. You shall be disarmed and stay under guard at all times, I'm afraid. I can't take any chances. The journey will take a week or so, heading southwest until we reach the east-west road and then straight to Cabor. He opens the curtains next to you. His bodyguards are already waiting for you. You will be taken to your people so that you can explain the situation to them, Rajat tells you. Please, for all your sakes, calm them and assure them that we all shall be well. In return, I will make sure to introduce you to His Grace the Prince properly. You might even realize how lucky you are for running into me. You have questions before you leave his company? I'm ready to leave, I think. Once the discussion is over, the Hanjari pack up their gear, loot the fallen, execute the captives, as well as pile up and burn the corpses. All while you return to your people and explain what is going to happen. There's some grumbling, but in the end you make everyone realize they prefer a trip to Cabor to being executed on the spot. As the captain promised, most of your weapons are then confiscated for the time being and your comitatus is put under constant guard. With that, you are finally ready to move out. Marching with the Hanjari proves to be fairly relaxing compared to some of your previous trips. In a couple of hours, the sun hangs low in the west and the war party strikes camp for the night. It is an uneventful one. Time passes. And then we are in Cabor. Awesome! Can we save? Not yet. All right, we will read through this until I can save. Enjoy the long episode, everybody. The next week is spent traveling the grueling, scorching Bronze Desert alongside Captain Rajat's Hanjari. I love the new music in this part of the world, by the way. It's awesome. He makes certain that you do not feel threatened or uncomfortable during the trip, yet you feel closely watched at all times. He also proves to be good company. You enjoy frequent conversations and delicious suppers the two of you end up having. Rajat is calm, educated, and efficient in his command, and you can see that the Hanjari warriors look up to him. Midway through the journey, the captain asks you to surrender the astrolabe to his mage briefly so they can take a closer look. They already know that you used the relic to get here, from examining the realm gate and from your confession. Thus you comply, and Rajat, true to his word, gives the artifact back to you very soon. You reach the aptly named East-West Road in 5 days. By then, the great range of mountains in the west looms over the desert horizon. The war party heads towards them, reaching Cabor late afternoon the next day. Traffic on the road intensifies as you get closer to the great jewel of the north, and you begin to look forward to laying your eyes upon the fabled city. This is a cool city. It's very Middle Eastern, obviously. Very cool, though. Its towers and walls take shape when the sun reaches the mountains beyond them. At last, Captain Rajat's war party is closing in on the mighty walls of Cabor. And what walls they are! Capped by battlements covered in bronze filigree, the ramparts themselves are an ivory-colored stone, perfectly fitted, chiseled and polished to produce an almost mirror-like surface. Great colorful banners hang from the wall's top, heralding the presence of many noble families, the trading houses, imperial officials, and high priests in the city. Beyond its great walls, Cabor occupies a wide valley at the foot of the Brown Mountains, with the inner districts half climbing the terraces and expanding into side valleys to the west and north. Although only the tallest buildings are visible over the battlements, you feast your eyes upon countless slender towers capped by shiny onion domes, grand temples adorned with intricately detailed statues, and obsidian obelisks commemorating great deeds. The gatehouse itself is a work of art, covered in elaborate mosaic tiles up to the full of its immense height. The blue-white gold wall depicts important scenes from the city's past, with heavy emphasis on the moon god Anubis's constant attention. Normally it would take quite a while to pass under the Great Arch, but once most of his Hanjari forces leave to camp outside the city, the captain ensures swift entry for you and the remaining escort. Saluting Rajat, the gate guards usher you into Cabor. Emerging into what looks like a market district, you are awed by the buzz and colorfulness of the place. Under hundreds of awnings fastened to tall marble pillars, the magnificent bazaar stretches as far as the eye can see. The sounds, sights, and smells of the market almost overwhelm you. Seeing that you are getting your bearings, Captain Rajat smiles proudly. "This is Kaljar Suk," he announces, "the market of Lord Jahar in rough translation. He was the one who convinced the Imperials to build a city here, at the site of an ancient tectum. Of course the shelter was here because the water runs from beneath the mountain in abundance, and thus those running from the calamity could find refuge and sustenance here. Jahar's vision of a Tarkian city in the Bronze Desert was only fully realized hundreds of years later, but I suppose he knew early on how grand a future awaited his venture. Many statues also honor him, the paragon of Hanjari. The crowds open obediently to make way for your Hanjari escort and you to take the northwest path across the city. There the Prince's palace looms large over Cabor. Crossing the city, you take note of a large number of locations and curiosities. You notice about half of its dwellers seem to be Tarkian, with only a quarter of the denizens being Imperials or Bandul in equal measure, while another quarter is from races and cultures all over the continent. There are even strange lizardmen, odd elves, and bronze-skinned humanoids with burning red eyes, an offshoot of demonkin, perhaps? As for the local Bandul, you'll never see anything like them. Their entire attire and manners are a far cry from their desert-dwelling relatives. Dressed in ragged burnesses and wearing no headscarves, they seem dour and suspicious, following your progress warily, or are they gauging you in their own way? Captain Rajat soon halts the procession and tells you from this point on only you and he will proceed toward the palace under the watchful eye of his bodyguards. Your comitatus will be escorted to a nearby manzio to await your return, while guarded by the rest of his men. There is no point in arguing, so you accept his terms and soon move on while your comes leave to the inn. You reach the palace soon enough. The Prince's Palace is a gigantic white castle in Tarkian style, occupying several city blocks space, and it is without considering the walled gardens that surround it. Polished bronze onion domes top 7 towers that enclose the main building, a large round structure also domed. Lord Jahar's last enterprise was to lay down the foundations of a great palace, one that would surpass even the great dwellings of Tarkian trade princes, the captain informs you upon seeing your interest. He hoped to elevate himself to the status of a prince, and would have succeeded if not for the wasting disease that took his life. And so it came to pass that another prince, Abinar al-Radan, completed the palace's construction, and thus it was named after his title. You look up at the 7 towers and see Prince Fisel's banners, a gem under a crescent moon upon a black and dark blue field studded with stars, much like the clear night sky. He is already expecting us, Captain Rajat confirms. I sent messengers 2 days ago and received news that the prince wishes to see you upon your arrival. You nod, moving your gaze upon an imperial banner raised slightly higher than the prince's. It is a grim thing, faded black with a rearing 3-headed creature as its only decoration beneath the calligraphy, identifying the 23rd Imperial Legion. The captain does not comment. At length you enter through a side gate. Crossing the palace gardens, you briefly catch a glimpse of harem girls idling in pools among the palms, as well as magnificent plants from faraway lands cultivated by the backbreaking labor of slaves. Yet you have no time to gawk because Captain Rajat dictates a brisk pace. I can't talk. Entering the palace proper through a small gate, you follow your guide up and up, ascending marble stairwells, inspecting intricate wall carpets, beautiful murals, exquisite vases, and lifelike statues as you go. Everything is ivory and bronze with the exception of silver and gold here and there. Then, at length, after ascending countless stairs and passing through a dozen echoing halls, you begin to hear music drifting in the cool air. A reception is being held in honor of the Legate, who is currently visiting the prince, Captain Rajat says matter-of-factly. He does not look happy about the matter. Since His Grace wished to converse with you immediately, which is a good sign, we will have to make our introductions during the reception. Worry not, Vagrus, you will be treated as an honored guest. Passing on, you pass the Hanjari Honor Guard, who are watching over several connected halls where a crowd has gathered to celebrate. You enter the halls after Captain Rajat announces his business to the leader of the Honor Guard. The reception hall is decorated in the same vein as the rest of the upper palace, but you have little chance to admire it because the guests and entertainment immediately draw your attention from the location itself. The music is cadent and mellow in turns, provided by a gaggle of minstrels, singers, and harpists. Dancers wearing only gold body paint perform in small groups, their movements and nakedness drawing many eyes. Drinks are offered by soft-spoken palace slaves, while exotic food is laid out on long tables along the hall's walls. As you follow the captain through the crowd of courtiers, nobles, merchant lords, decorated soldiers, prostitutes, and politicians, you cannot help but notice how many of the guests bow or salute Rajat with seemingly sincere respect. At last you walk up to an older man in a turquoise robes and a dark turban that looks far too large for his head. He is reciting poetry with a peculiar intonation, which makes the cadre of guests, mostly as aristocrats and functionaries, burst out in laughter. When his wise eyes notice Captain Rajat, however, the Prince of Cabor excuses himself and turns to you after a series of bows from his former audience. His Grace, the Prince Fisel al-Turhen, the coiner, patriarch of Akena, victor of the Battle of Garesh, the good captain announces to his lord to you. May you be welcome in my city, Vagrus. The prince's voice is deep and smooth like Tarkian coffee, radiating a calm wisdom the likes of which is quite rare in your experience. With a wave of his bejeweled hand, your host dismisses the rest of his sycophants who have been idling nearby, eyeing you maliciously. Oh no! You clear your throat and express your awe with Cabor. A faint smile plays on the prince's lips. A matter of great pride for me, as you surely understand, he tells you confidently. People like you and I work so hard for our ventures that it would be nigh impossible not to seek validation for them, nay? You agree, and the prince goes on. The good Captain Rajat has sent me a detailed report of his hunt and his consequent, but accidental it seems, finding of you, Vagrus. I must admit that, were I a less practical man, I'd rush to the conclusion that the gods have sent you as a portent. Your arrival is very peculiar indeed, and so I'd like to hear all the details from your own lips if you would be so kind to recite them for your humble host. He uses a small gesture and a slave immediately supplies you with a drink. Seeing no point in lying, you tell him how you reached the Bronze Desert from the Outer Realms. We gained renown and then just rep with the Hanjari. Sick. Prince Fisel does not interrupt you or ask questions during the couple of minutes it takes you to recount your tale, but you can feel his wide dark eyes constantly piercing you. I am intrigued, he says finally, and looks at Rajat, who is the only one at hearing distance from the two of you. The captain bows his head. Now, regarding the method of your arrival, my captain's report referred to a device. I'd like to know more, but the prince cannot finish his inquiry because a dark figure strides up to you boldly, interrupting the conversation. Ah, my dear legate, your host intones, wearing the tight-fitting leathers, a black iron cuirass paired with a crested helm. The legate is one of surprisingly small stature. She is lithe, boyish, and so much so that no amount of armor, nor her black cloak can hide it well. Your Grace, she utters in a flat tone without any sign of real respect, and then turns to you. And who might you be? Introduce yourself? Wait for the prince to introduce you. The prince introduces you properly, but then goes on in a somewhat unexpected direction. The Vagrus served my family well in the past, and now the gods have moved us on to a common path again. Forgive me for indulging myself, but you know how tales of travel have always intrigued me, my good legate. Wishing not to upset the prince, you do not add anything. The legate turns her gray eyes towards you, and for a few moments you feel as if she is about to order your execution. Then she just shrugs. Unfortunately, duty calls, and I have to leave, your grace. She tells the prince in a way that makes it evident she does not wish to stay even 1 minute longer than necessary, but I appreciate the efforts to mark my visit. Is there any trouble I should be aware of? The prince's inquiry sounds innocent enough. There is, the legate bursts out, her eyes narrowed, and no, you should not be. With that, she begins to leave and the prince follows her, but not before indicating that you are to accompany Captain Rajat for the time being. You and the captain join a table of Hanjari and imperial officers. You spend the next hours or so listening in on the discussion of the captain's colleagues. While you are there, the legate takes her leave of the crowd briefly, but not very enthusiastically, thanking the prince for his hospitality. The soldiers at your table are mostly interested in Rajat's recent successes against the Ahari, and you see that the legionnaires try their best to look unimpressed while the Hanjari sing the praises of their role model. You also hear rumors of the insurgents endangering the northern territories, hampering the legate's efforts to get as much oil as possible out of the cruel desert. At length, a courtier arrives and asks you to accompany her. The prince wishes to continue your conversation. You are then escorted out onto a balcony that overlooks the temple quarter of Cabor, an astonishing sight to behold for both the diversity and the architecture. The sun is now lower in the afternoon sky, getting closer and closer to the mountaintops that will eventually hide it in a matter of hours. You and the prince are alone out here save for the pair of mute eunuch guards at his back. What do you see when you look at my city, Vagrus? Prince Fisel asks you when you join him at the banister without looking away from the view. Tell him that you see many cultures and religions side by side. Squalor? I see that. Indeed, the prince muses, but more than that remains unseen beneath the surface. A great desert storm is raging outside my city, gaining momentum, staying at a distance thus far, but sooner or later it will spread, find its way here, and throw itself against my walls, and perhaps even threaten everything we've built here. You await his explanation in silence. He glances at you and then continues. The Ahari, a faction of elusive native sun priests and their bandal followers who have taken upon themselves to wage war against the legate and her enterprise. Oil is the black gold of the empire, especially because of the war up north. Now the legate is no fool, and as anyone with a hint of cunning would do, she makes her own profit on all of this, perhaps a bit too hungrily too, which incites an even stronger reaction from the Ahari, who see us as harbingers of devastation, unholy trespassers of their holy oases and sacred deserts. The Hanjari are thus in a very precarious position, Vagrus. Our own profits are dwindling due to the sabotage and insurrection of the locals, but conversely, by rooting them out, we merely propagate someone else's prosperity. He sighs and then faces you. And you! Now you are in a very unique position in the midst of this. You ask him how and why. That artifact of yours, the prince adjusts some of his golden rings. I heard Captain Rajat's report, but also that of his mage. I know what you call the astrolabe is bound to you, which grants you, and only you, the ability to travel between us and the jagged waste almost instantaneously. Even with these supposed limitations, Vagrus, it would be amazingly useful for the Hanjari, or any faction here if you decided to aid them. You ask him if he means the transportation of goods. Among other things, he replies with a smile, bringing news and messages, taking a handful of people to the other side fast and quietly. These are merely a few things that would make you a powerful ally. Presently, the Bronze Desert is mostly cut off from the rest of the continent, in parts by the winds that went mad, in parts by the usual natural barriers, but mostly by the legate's blockade due to the war in the north. Surely you can see how circumventing it or avoiding the taxes, danger, and expenses of sea travel are very valuable. You ask him if he means to employ you. I would certainly appreciate the consideration, but I know how your independence is important to you, Vagrus, so I would not disrespect you by trying to buy you out. You are a free agent, and that is what you should remain. You ask him how he imagines your cooperation then. Work for me. Every once in a while, I'll need something in the vein of what we talked about, the prince says enthusiastically, but also you might end up influencing the current status quo between the legate's forces and the Ahari. Naturally, I should advise you to aid the legate in her endeavors. She will be at her seat of power, Fort Erebus, but between us, whoever ends up winning decisively enough, the Hanjari will finally be able to profit. And so I'm saying is, do what you do best and let the gods decide. You are deep in thought about what the prince is insinuating. For the errands across the realm, I shall reward you most handsomely, he says after a while. Should you talk about the details with my seneschal, Akir, other than that, I'd advise you to go out there, get the lay of the land, and see what you can achieve. You ask him if it means that you are free to go. Most certainly, Prince Fisel confirms. The reason I asked to see you were to offer you opportunities and give advice. I have no intention of holding you back. With that, he gestures and Captain Rajat appears to escort you out. While you are leaving, you realize that in order to do what the prince asks, you need to recharge the astrolabe. Leaving the balcony, you enter the palace and head downstairs. The captain takes you to Seneschal Akir, who turns out to be a perfumed, smoothly groomed, polite man in his 50s. He explains what the prince needs first. You are to take a message to another Tarkian prince, Karim, who rules over Tectum Carvos in Western Syrian Plains. We know that guy. You received the sealed message and are instructed to return with a reply, at which point you will be very well compensated. The seneschal hands you a pouch of silver, a recompense for the time you and your crew had to spend traveling to Cabor, as promised by the good Captain Rajat. Since your business with Vakir is now done, you are ready to leave the palace. Captain Rajat escorts you off the premises and says his farewells. It was an enjoyable journey, I must admit. Perhaps we'll meet again. You'll be traveling these lands, I presume, and will soon be off on another campaign. Farewell, Vagrus, and may the gods guide your path. Once you say your goodbye, too, you step outside the palace grounds and head towards the Mandio, eager to tell your confidence there what happened. The sun is sinking behind the mountains to the west as you trudge across the city. Not knowing your way around Cabor, you ask for directions from the locals, but it is a less than optimal way to navigate the crammed streets southeast of the Prince's palace. To your surprise, one turn off a well-maintained block of buildings leads you to a squalid neighborhood where the city-dwelling Bandul you saw earlier congregate. You try to look decisive as you walk, but you cannot help but notice a lot of eyes are fixed on you, making you feel uncomfortable. Then just as you turn right to circle back to the better streets, a group of ragged-looking locals bar your way. Prepare what you believe is about to go down. Oh boy. The woman steps forward among the decrepit-looking hold-up men and addresses you by title. You notice that your potential assailants are city-dwelling Bandul. You are Atsurai, the stranger, she says, one out of this world. But the great sun recognizes you. It knows your heart. The sun's herald wishes to see you, Vagrus, wishes to talk to you. Please accept this invitation. Ask them why you would want to do that. The woman considers your question briefly before answering. Every story told under the sun has at least two sides. You were told one, but should you hear the other, because one is without doubt or question, your deeds will push the pendulum one way or the other. She then falls silent, looking at you unexpectedly. Go away. Nah, man, I'm afraid you have no choice, the woman says. Several Bandul draw their daggers in unison and you begin to sweat profusely, realizing they can easily murder you here without anyone being the wiser. You are, by all intents and purposes, their prisoner. Begrudgingly, you tell them that you will go to this meeting of theirs. All right, this has gone far enough. We're gonna pause the episode real quick here. If you guys enjoyed the video, click the like button, it helps me out a lot. If you wanna see more Vagrus or my other playthroughs going on the channel, subscribe to the channel, that also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. And we'll pick up with the Bandul right here. So don't go anywhere. Bye, everybody.